Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday, March 1st, the day after leap year. Hopefully, y'all remembered it's not February 30th or 31st, March number 1. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Aaron Phillips holding down the fort for the fantabulous Kiwanis Connect show. Anything and everything you want to learn about Kiwanis, we've got it right here, not because of me, but because of Doc Val, who you see on my screen here to my left. She joins us every week because she is that damn good. That's why, doggone it. We bring you the best of Kiwanis. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Aloha. I am absolutely fabulous. You know, every time I see your face, it just makes me so happy. And so
just think in a couple of weeks, you'll see it in person.
I know.
Right.
You know, the new years keep coming faster and faster.
Should we announce what we're going to do on Friday? Are we making that official?
Yes, go for it.
I will do that too. So Friday, March 22nd, the first day of Midwinter South at the hotel. Normally we're on at 9 a.m. However, I will be on the road, kind of like Val usually is, but I don't have a slick little segment cover like she has. So you just have to vision me in my car with my wife. We have planned a special Kiwanis Connect show for 4 p.m. Pacific that Friday of Mid-Year South at the hotel. We're going to line up some guests, come by and talk about midwinter. So mark your calendars. This is for you, John Brummer, Friday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Now, I do have to give a disclaimer. We are expecting some high winds here in the next couple of days, and Nevada Power, we're already getting them, but Nevada Power actually emailed all of their customers, commercial, residential, that there's the possibility of power outages during these winds. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you watch the show, if all of a sudden you see Val and I freeze in a position, it's not you, it's Mother Nature. Okay, so just keep that in mind if we automatically or accidentally fade away. So,
Mother Nature has been smacking us all over the place, all over the world lately.
What's up with that?
I know. You know, my friends in Tahoe are expecting 10 feet of snow.
No.
What's up with that? And someone had the nerve to, pull up pictures where there was snow in Arroyo Seco, and I said, do not manifest snow out in my backyard. I do not want to see that. So.
You've got enough moisture there to last you probably multiple lifetimes for people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you good now? Everything good from all that rain and mud and everything? Are you kind of back to normal?
We are now in the third wave, and so it's raining as we speak, and all the bulldozers are staged for the next session. But right now, we're blessed, no problem.
Wow!
And I worry more about our friends who get 8 feet of snow on their roofs.
Oh yeah, that's people think because snow is light in weight, but when it's wet, really wet, and it gets compacted, dear Lord, not a good thing. By the way, just want to thank everybody as always for joining us here. Good morning, John. John, gotta love John. I love John Brummer. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you so very much. Remember, we have two options. Of course, our show page, WWDBTV, and on YouTube, we have our YouTube channel now flying high, is on and active. Both channels there as well. And in about 5 days-ish, if you have Roku, if you don't, you should, if for no other reason, because WWDBTV is on Roku, you can catch our show, this show, Kiwanis Connects, and all the fantabulous information guests we've had over the last almost a year and a half now. Jeez Louise. I almost said year, but it's a year and a half. And we've had shows that we're averaging about 40,000 views per week just on this one Facebook page, Val. And of course, we have had a couple of 110s pluses because of the follow-up on Lahaina and September 11th, and certain shows were much higher. But doggone it, 40,000 people a week around the world, people. We have our friends we have our friends in Africa, South Africa, all over the world. They're watching the show to learn. Can you believe it? From you and I, and of course, someone like our special guest who's going to be joining us today.
Absolutely. And, our last set of topics have really resonated with people around the world. And so we've really been talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it really made me think after our conversation with Rex, it was so important to bring it up during Black History Month. But it's not just during Black History Month that we need to be talking about all of this. And I had so many phone calls to say, please talk more about this. And in talking with our guest, I want to bring him on screen because Douglas Chadwick, he's Mr. Popularity. He's involved in so many different things. And so there's our superhero.
Barry, I'm glad you called him in. His lightsaber, and I wouldn't want him to burn his house down over there.
Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, everybody. How are you all?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me.
We're really glad you're here, Doug, because you have had just quite the amazing run. You've only been in Kiwanis how long?
Just over 6 years.
That's all.
That's all. Isn't that amazing?
Well, maybe 7 now, because 2017, 16.
Good morning,
17.
Leanne.
Absolutely. And it's like, Doug, I can remember clearly meeting you for the very first time. And it was one of those things. It was like we became kissing cousins. And it was just amazing because literacy truly is a superpower. And so you're a frequent flyer with us. So you know how we roll.
Oh, yeah. Not only is he a frequent flyer, but he's usually in the chat room stirring the pot for us. So it's always good. So
and advertising.
I think I'm adding ingredients. I'm not stirring the pot. I'm adding ingredients.
Very valuable ingredients.
But most people don't realize just how actively involved you are in the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so, how did you get involved? How I got that spark?
That's a really good question. Well, how I got involved was I always like to learn. So when Kiwanis Amplify came out, I jumped at the chance to learn more things because I've always been to the president's training and the secretary's training and the treasurer, and I've done all that training online, and I wanted to learn more. And when Amplify came out, it just felt that it fit a need I needed to pursue. So I went through the training, and what hit me most was a module number 4 called Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. I'm thinking, I know how this works. I'm going to go to that and ace this course, or all that kind of stuff. But what I found out was there's so much I didn't know that I thought I would know that I learned. And so I took that knowledge and I learned and I use it all the time. And then when it came for the survey, I gave a survey how much I enjoyed this module. And then they asked for mentors. I said, I'd like to be a mentor in this module, not because I was an expert, because I wanted to learn more. So I was able to share and learn from more people throughout the mentorship program and study it myself. So that's why I got more involved with DEI.
I think that's absolutely cool, and I think back to you actually working on a project of kids speaking across the world for COVID and speaking across the world in the US about COVID. And one of the comments that you had brought up was we need to make sure that all the kiddos that are on the cover represent all the different kids. And right. And I think that's where we need to kind of really speak from is the experience that our kids are having, as well as the experience that our members have. Because I think oftentimes people go la 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 la, when that whole D word comes up, that whole diversity, how evil is that? And so when I've been to the Book Depot several times, and you have a really special segment in the Book Depot. Do you want to discuss it?
So now that we've been able to acquire more books on DEI, we've been doing it. So we have a complete library of DEI library, where if there's a need, we're able to fill that need now with books of diversity, equity, inclusion. And it's not just kids books. We have older kids books too. So we're really happy that we're able to fill that need when it's wanted and needed, and we'll talk about that later too.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the books are about Black history, about women, powerful women from history that have been forgotten. So this is really important that we get that to the clubs and to other organizations to give them a voice, just like we did with the COVID book about kids, how their experiences through COVID. There was 50 voices in that book that we would never have heard had that book been produced. So that is the things that we're trying to promote and help with.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you guys why do you guys suppose books like this, specialized books and whatnot, why is it taking so long for our society to come out with stuff like, I mean, I can formulate answers to my own question, but I want to hear about you guys discussing that. Why is it taking so long to offer books like this specific for communities and all diversities?
Val probably could answer that better than I.
Well, I'm definitely gonna jump on in, because with my experience, I've been a trainer for diversity, equity, inclusion before we gave it the title, and taught the whole inclusion model and all of that. And it's all about fear. It is fear of other, and there is a model that people believe other people want to read about and see. And so, and I'm going to put it out there, and I know some people may start saying, oh my gosh, she's going political, but it's not political. I remember growing up and never seeing anything in books. So I truly believe that there are probably only 6 or 7 Black people in the world until I moved to Arizona in the 7th grade. And that was because we traveled around, and I only was introduced to one at a time, because my dad was in the military. So one person would come to the house, and, you know, when you're little, people look the same. But not knowing that every Black person is not my family.
I think part of it also, Valerie, is that the perceived demand by the publishers, they said the demand wasn't there to publish enough books to make it worth their while. And now that the demand is there, I think we're seeing more and more books coming out.
So the demand, I love that word for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed over the course of time that the demand has changed? When and why? Why has the demand all of a sudden gotten to a point where the publishers in this particular case said, all right, let's do it. Let's add it to our inventory. What's changed and why?
Demand is a code word.
I know.
You know, when you're talking about DEI, it's all about code talkers. It's a whole nother language. And there's always been a demand, because all of us, brown, differently abled, specially abled, loving different kind of families, we've all been around a really, really long time.
But I think it's a perceived demand. I don't mean it's demand, it's perceived demand by the publisher. Not demand has always been there. It just hasn't been available because it wasn't economical, they thought, for them to make that happen. And now the demand is there, but also the need is there. Not just the demand, the need is there. And we're helping fulfill that need to giving kids access to these books.
Right. John has a comment. John?
Well, and I think this has something to do with it as well. It's easier to publish a book today than it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago, even 10 years ago. So a lot of these smaller companies can afford to do this, or even individuals on their own. I know a number of authors that publish their own books. So I think that helps a lot, that I have an interest in this and I'm going to publish this book. And
I think I think, and I don't mean to talk over you, but I think that there's also this layering in culture that happens. And so in the 60s and 70s, the real focus was to get ethnic and different authors out there. And it wasn't to speak from an ethnic voice, and it wasn't to be inclusive. It was to have people writing, and to, when they go on book tour, you see different people standing up talking about their murder mysteries or their Star Wars or their whatever, but they're all different colors, right? And they may roll up in a wheelchair. And now what we've moved to is the sense of, we want to also see people. People want to be seen. And so there are books that are being written for specific readers. And if other readers come in and read it, it's like, great. You learn a little bit more about something that you may not live every day. And the best example, each Affinity Month, I always read books that are written by whatever the Affinity Month is. And this year, instead of reading Black history or any of those kind of things, I started reading Black romances.
No, go ahead.
And oh my goodness, it was just like, wow. And talking about interracial relationships and all those kind of things. 20 years ago, I would never have seen any of that in a book.
We have Mother Nature. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I distract you guys. Mother Nature literally is playing with the door to the studio, and I wanted to catch John's attention to lock the door so that the banging of the door doesn't get picked up. But you know what? That's a good place to stop to take our first break. How about that for a segue, huh? Everybody, don't go anywhere. We got more right here on Kiwanis Connects with Douglas, Val, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. At Kiwanis Family House, we build communities and give hope. But when someone is sick, families can be tested in ways they never imagined. Parents have to travel far from home to get their child the complex medical care needed. They may have to miss work and worry about paying the bills, and all the while, trying to keep their family together. That's where Kiwanis Family House comes in. Kiwanis Family House provides a home away from home for families with sick family members receiving treatment at nearby hospitals. Families stay at Kiwanis Family House for as long as they need. This allows them to be close to their sick family member and each other during a stressful time. Every day, Kiwanis Family House witnesses how families are a powerful source of support and healing during difficult times due to illness or trauma. Every day, Kiwanis Family House celebrates the importance of family and the power of love and support. Thanks to the efforts of the Cal Neva District of Kiwanis, there's been a Kiwanis presence in the Rose Bowl Parade for more than half of the New Year's Day Parade since 1921. In the past, our efforts were funded through club sponsorships, outside sponsorships, by the generous donations from Kiwanis members or club foundations sponsoring riders on the Kiwanis float itself. The District Rose Float Committee handles fundraising, and the Kiwanis Rose Float Club secures and organizes the volunteers. When Kiwanis International wanted to sponsor a large portion of our float, momentum from our clubs was lost due to any fundraising. The time has come to have our clubs increase their involvement in the fundraising efforts. But the Rose Float Kiwanis Club needs the help from all Kiwanis clubs, its members, and businesses to answer the call for support. Visit our Kiwanis Rose Float page on Facebook. Help make sure that Kiwanis International will let the world continue to smell the roses for a long time. All right, welcome back, Douglas. I wear my hat in honor of you, sir. He is my provider. He is my contact, all Batman and the stuff I have from him. I graciously, a million times say thank you very much. It keeps costing me money, but it goes all to a good cause. So welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. We are continuing our discussion that really has been hitting the storm. I mean, last week we replayed it from the week before on the diversity topic. And you mentioned something, Val, before we went to break, something about affinity. I thought that was a car, but now you're telling me it's something else.
It absolutely is. And so even though it's a high-end car, we're also talking about at some point, all the educators and everybody said, we really need to highlight different groups because there's such a lack of awareness out there. And I've been really educating myself on this to try and teach people, in a club, you don't have to put your arms around every single group every month because people don't want to be hit over the head with all of these deep issues every month. But there are different ways to celebrate different communities. And so last month we celebrated Black History Month. And I know, Douglas, you were really surprised because your literacy club, it was right in the middle of it, right? The Literacy Club Foundation?
Yes. So since we have all these books, DEI books that we have reached out and talked to other clubs that say, so we were able to present a whole collection of Black History Month related books.
Is that the books we have pictures of? I'm sorry. Is that the books we have pictures of?
Yes, those are the books we have pictures of. So those books,
we'll start popping them up.
Okay, so those books were able to get to a retirement home in Rosemead, and I didn't know it at the time, but we were just going to present them to them. But they actually had us do a presentation for about 40 people at this luncheon. So we had the Lieutenant Governor-elect for Division 10, Mauro Gallion, and he's a superintendent of this Garvey School District. So we went and made a presentation of these books to their library there. We gave it to their library, and he would talk about Black History Month. We had pictures on the table of famous people from Black history, different things that they created, written, and made an impact on America with. So we were able to talk about the characters there and the personalities there. And he did a great job. They loved the books, and we're going to do more stuff with this particular organization. So that was one way. And then when people come by at the Y, we're able to give them and talk about DEI when they come into the book depot, and we give their kids books too that look like them. So they're really impressed with what we're doing, and it's really makes my heart really glad when we're able to do this for the public and for clubs.
It's so exciting. And it's, it doesn't just start with Black history. It's like March is the celebration of Women's History Month. And, I do the whole splash, and it's not just one look of woman, but it's women across the world and being able to celebrate them every day. And I'm even wearing my 35th anniversary pin because, as you guys know, women haven't always been in Kiwanis.
Yep. That's true. And I asked before I went on the air, when we get to midwinter, I asked Val to put one aside for my wife, because in that first year when we were back in Jersey, the Homedale Kiwanis Club, my wife was the first inducted female into our club, as well as the first female officer, secretary, treasurer as well. So Kiwanis really turned a tide very late in the game by making that change 35 years ago. And I can't imagine where we would be today if Kiwanis did not make that change 35 years ago.
We would have half the members.
We'd be in trouble.
We'd be in trouble. We'd have half as many members.
Absolutely. And I've sent out an invitation to our first female governor in Calneva. She was on my advisory committee, Terry Newman. She fought some major battles, and she really brought forward the power of the female to our world. And also Sue Peterson, who I absolutely adore, was the first international female president. And so she does a show at night, and I'm going to put a shout out to her show on Thursday nights. It's called Let's Talk. It's very different from our format, but it is her still staying relevant, because she sees the need for people to still see that women are leading the organization. There have only been 3 female international presidents, and it was how many years? 108 years?
Well, they've only been allowed to be members since 1987. So,
yeah, absolutely amazing. But it's like, if you're thinking about this, it's like, okay, so we're not really ready to do a celebration, an Infinity celebration this month. We just have our plate full. Well, April is another month where you might think about. It's called Arab American Heritage Month. And this is a brand new affinity month that's been put out. The reason is because there has been so much hate and so much misunderstanding of the Arab world and how that fits in. And I know that at a couple of the California State University campuses, they're going to actually do a history to understand what's going on with Hamas and Israel and a couple of other things, so that people understand what the history is behind that conflict, because most people don't realize that that's been going on for hundreds of years. And then in May, we have 2 different affinity months. And one is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And my friend kept yelling at me, "We don't have a month. We don't have a month. Everybody else has a month." And it's like, actually you do. And it's in May. And you'll be really thrilled that May is also Jewish American Heritage Month.
Cool. I like it. I didn't know that, but it's I don't want to sound like Debbie Downer, but it's unfortunate that we have to do this in our society today to recognize communities within our society separately. You know, it's just, you know, the old thing, you know, you cut yourself, we all bleed red. Why should the outside matter versus what's on the inside, you know? And I mean, it's great that everybody's being recognized, and I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong with what I'm saying, but it's just unfortunate that today's society, we have to do that. We are a one society, one community, one United States, whatever one you want to throw out there. Everybody has a uniqueness, and we should be promoting everybody at the same time. That's all.
You know, and I wish we could, and we should do that every day. But there's such a lack of awareness, and that whole political landscape that our kiddos and our club members deal with when they walk outside of a club meeting. There's a lot that they're missing. And the reason why I'm really promoting that we actually focus in is because we're missing out on members. You know, if you go into the average club across North America and even around the world, everybody pretty much looks the same when you walk in. And until you hear their individual stories, you don't know how much each person brings to the table.
Doug, talk about that link you just put in the chat room.
So that link will tell just what Val was talking about, affinity months. There is a place for everybody, and it's very inclusive if you go to those 12 months of things that awareness months. So that's why I put that in there.
Okay. So you can search that all out at that time. Now, the different types of books that you were talking about previously, I'm reading the run sheet that we have for today, and before we're up against our next break, there's something in there about why people have an allergy to books, and I have to say, I mean, I have my own answer to that, but I love the concept. So, Douglas, I'm going to give that to you and share that if you would.
Okay, I'll make it kind of brief, but it is. So we were presenting at the International Convention last year, and we had our booth there, and we were handing out books, and we were helping with some other projects and seminars. And a lady came up to my booth and said, "Well, what if you send us an inappropriate book?" And I said to them, "Well, what's inappropriate for you is not inappropriate for others, right?" So I said, it's like a menu at a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, and if you don't tell us what you're allergic to, I won't know what books you're allergic to. If you're allergic to the color purple, or if you're allergic to magic. Some people don't like Harry Potter books, right? I said, or if it's a culture or genre or content that you're allergic to, you need to let us know what you're allergic to, because then we can send you the right books for you. I said, if you don't let us know, we don't censor, we don't ban books, we curate books that kids need, because every book is appropriate to somebody. So what we took out of it was the religion, the politics, the race. We took all that out of there, and we call it an allergy. So if it's their allergy, it's not my allergy. And if they tell us that they're allergic, so now when we do book curations and distributions, we do ask that question: would you like some DEI books? And it's amazing that people want that. And they said, really, do you have those? I said, yes. And that makes me feel really good. So that's how we have coined the phrase now. It's an allergy to books. And when I tell it to people, they say, really, they're allergic to the pages? I said, no, it's what's on the pages. Right. so we call it an allergy. That's my allergy analogy for books.
Frank Bizzaro, member of the Downtown Kiwanis Club, listening, says, but don't stop others from eating because you don't eat it.
I love it, Frank. Oh my goodness, that's fabulous. You know, and Douglas, one of the things is we provided books to some Native American tribes and First Peoples in Michigan, and it was really funny because as we were looking at that and sending them samples, we made up in our minds what they were allergic to. And we just said, maybe they're allergic to DEI books. Maybe they're allergic to political books. And so we put them in a separate box, and we said, here are most of the books that we normally give. But if you're interested, we can also give you these, but we don't know how you feel about that. And that was the box that everybody gravitated towards. And so the president of the Educational Council of the 12 tribes in Upper Michigan, where she was just like, wow, this is what we've been looking for. And so it feeds back into, we don't know unless you tell us. We shouldn't assume that we know what you want.
Before we go to break, I just want to just add to what you guys were just saying. In timeshare, when I was in that business, we were taught early on, and this is the same thing in any sales, you don't prejudge people, because what works for one may work, and it doesn't work for somebody else. We, prejudge who's going to buy, not buy, and you always get the answers wrong. Don't prejudge. Don't judge a book by its cover. On that note, it's time to step away for our second break. Kiwanis Connects, thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. Kiwanis International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year.
For more information, contact Herman Platsky at KiwanisClub of 29Palms.com.
All right. Wait, that commercial, the Kiwanis Family House commercial, the Roast Float commercial, all those commercials that you guys are asking for. Well, all of you should be at the very least. The donation continues to keep this show on the air. Okay. So please, if you'd like more information to get a customized commercial, email me, KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. We have a new commercial coming out for stroke awareness. Thank you, Rocky and Mr. Brummer and Derek, for doing that. So folks, and by the way, Douglas, Miss Val, is in our corner that in the newsletters coming up, he's going to put a little spot in there to encourage other Kiwanis clubs to get on board with branding their Kiwanis club, or the individual members who have a business that would like to promote their business should be doing this. It's fabulous, if I may say so myself.
Put the dad jokes in the
yeah, no, oh, that's a good point. Douglas, can I put one dad joke in the article every month?
Sure, I'll send you the invoice.
On at WWDBT. Keep them out of the newsletter, Douglas.
Well, we do have a trivia contest every month in the newsletter too, so maybe we can add a dad joke. Yes,
once in a while. Come on now. All right. Now, as with anything, any procedures, any stuff that's out there, there's always a thing called best practices. So let's tap into that, Val and Douglas. What are some of the best practices and stuff that's going on with this program?
Well, I'm going to talk about the YMCA thing real quick. So when we had first got to the book depot at the YMCA, they gave us a space where we curate and ship the books from all over. We've shipped books to Uganda, Philippines, Guam, Canada, United States. So there was a need for DEI type of justice, also with justice books at the Y. They created what they call the Social Impact Center. And nobody knew what that really was, what it meant, because it's just coming out of COVID, it was interesting. But what it is a safe space for kids of all different lifestyles can go there and be safe. That's where they can read books, they can congregate with other people, they can learn things. So what we did, we helped support the Social Impact Center. We gave them a library of justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion books for their library. And we continue that whenever we get new books in. They always get 2 copies of whatever books we get that will fit in that library. So it's an impact. So it's a safe space for youth to learn skills, life skills, attend workshops, and improve their mental health with a variety of programs. It's amazing. It's a partnership with the local school district, the hospitals, and the library. So the referral services have mental health counseling, homeless prevention, life skills, like I said, and resuming resume building and money management. So it's just a place for kids that are on the, on the fringe, that socially, that can go there and have the the services they need. And we help support that every month.
Which is absolutely amazing. And I remember a couple of years ago, was it the Today Show, they talked about this series of books that an organization could buy into. And I know that you actually gifted a whole set of those books to Governor Margot when she was in office.
That was called the Kids Book About series. And we did, so Margot's first family focus was mental health. And so we gifted her a complete series. We've also gifted a complete series to the Boys and Girls Club in town and to the Social Impact Center also, because that's how important we think mental health is for everybody.
Is there one topic, one genre of books that right now that is available that seems to be more requested or whatever than any other genre of book right now in this program?
Well, how our program works is we are able to distribute the books that we're able to get. So we don't know what's going to be available that month. So you can't ask for a title. How we curate, because we don't censor, we curate by age and grade. So, gotcha. And these are relevant, brand new books that are relevant. So yes, they would all like to have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but at the price points we're able to get them and partner with the clubs, because we get books to clubs and organizations for as little as $2.50 a brand new book. And the average price of the book is over $10. So it's a really good value. So, and I wasn't going to do into the speech of how we do this, but that's how we do it. We don't curate to a title or author, but it's age and grade.
Or you can sell clothes right off your back, and that money always goes to help buy books also. But anyway, I digress. So can individuals donate? Can clubs donate? Businesses donate to help the cause to offset that $10 a book?
Well, we call it a partnership. So they help. We don't sell books. You co-sponsor a book. If we sold books, we'd have to do a bunch of taxes. So Sure. They donate to help co-sponsor books, and that's how we do that. They can always donate more because we live on a shoestring. Some months we have $1,000 in the bank. We spend it on books. So so they can donate anytime they want, and I can put the website in, or they can email me for more information, which is in the chat also now. But yeah, this is amazing. But it's more about not what we do, but I think about diversity, equity, and inclusion, how we can help you with your projects for DEI, and how we are supportive and learning every day. And that's what I think the focus of this particular segment is.
And, one of the things that we've been able to do is at one point we got in Who in the World is Carmen Diego? And we ended up with 1,200 of Where in the World or Who in the World is Carmen Diego? And I went to the school district in Salinas, which is the Central Coast, predominantly Latinx. And they decided that every sixth grader in the district was going to read Who in the World is Carmen Diego? And our literacy club provided a brand new book to every kid in the sixth grade level. That's really huge. And so the Salinas Literacy Club started up, and now they have adopted 3 schools. And every month they give a brand new book that's bilingual to all of the kiddos in the first grade in all 3 schools. And so these kiddos, by the time they get to second grade, all have a library at home of books, and in those libraries they're seeing people that look like them in each one of those books, and it's so exciting. And they're teaching their parents how to read English, and some of them are teaching their parents how to read.
We've learned that also with our little libraries, where the mother would come and get a board book and read it to the kids, and they were learning English. So the parents were learning English also, which is a big bonus for both of them.
Mm-hmm. And so what this is doing is it's not just about different languages, but it's also about that whole topic about equity and inclusion, because if everybody can read, then they have a superpower to be able to make decisions for themselves. And once you know how to read, it's not a skill that can be taken away from you. And that means they can read contracts, they can read job descriptions, they can read their medical diagnoses, and they can ask questions. But if they're only told and have to depend on other people, it doesn't work, and it keeps people suppressed. So that's the part that just makes my heart sing, to know that if you've got a book in your hand and can read, you can open up the world.
Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. It's like when I tutor my 5th graders in math, and, not all students love math. So they come in frowning. Oh, I hate math. I hate that. And I remind them, you know what? You can't escape numbers, kids. They are all around us. When it comes to time, and I give them every example. Well, words are the same thing. Words are all around us, and we have to learn how to understand and read, and like you guys said, just build on the skill set. So, like you said, it doesn't go away.
And I know, Douglas, there are other different things that clubs can be doing, and different organizations can be doing to get books into the hands of kiddos. And so you know a lot more than I do, because you're like the inventor of new ideas all the time.
So there's a lot of service projects, yes, and we can talk about that all day long. But some of the service projects I call legacy service projects. You get your key club, you do a used book drive, then you go find all the little libraries, which Little Free Library is a partner of Kiwanis International. You go find all the little libraries in your neighborhood, which there's 150,000 around the world. So there's a chance there's one really within a few blocks. And then they go and curate or go and steward those little libraries. They always need influx of good books. And if a book's been loved enough, I have approval by the Library of Congress that I can recycle that book. I made that up. Okay, so but
it's kind of good to us, Douglas.
It sounded really official.
Everybody goes, really? Really? They said that to you?
He's got
but if a book's tattered and torn,
too.
But if a book's tattered and torn, a kid's not going to want to read it. So recycle that and put a new one up. But do book drives. Get with your clubs. It's an easy thing. Any age group can do that. Get some labels from your club. We can help you provide labels too. We can say what works for us, but get labels for your club. It gets branding to Kiwanis. That's what we need to do. You can build little libraries. Like Leanne just said on the chat there, they have 3 going up now. We have 3 for South Pasadena we're building right now. These are large ones going in schools. So there's ways to do that. If you want any ideas for service projects relating to literacy, I'm the guy to contact. I've been dubbed, I think this past week, Mr. Literacy or something like that. That was a pretty funny meeting. So just contact us. We can help you with literacy. We love literacy. Val has one of the best stories about literacy, about the refrigerator. If you could share that story, how your level of literacy, I love that story.
When you're moving, it's pretty traumatic for kiddos. And my mother, we moved 17 times in 15 years. And so it was really important for my mom to normalize that. And so we would get excited because we knew we were moving when the books started to stack up on top of the refrigerator, because we always had long plane rides or long car rides. And so we couldn't touch those books until we were ready to move. And so you have to have your suitcase packed, and so as we're getting ready, you might be able to get one of them down, but you didn't get all of them until we were moving. And so my mom really put the joy of literacy into us. And for most of my life, books were my friends. When you move so much, it's hard to make friends. And so thank you for letting me share that story, Douglas, because my mom really knew where it was at pretty early on. So
did the height of the refrigerator in any way, shape, or form dictate the height of the books?
No. It was of what my mom could afford that dictated the height of the books.
You can tell how young Valerie is because the older refrigerators were round on the top and they would have fell off. So she was pretty young.
That's very true. That's a good point. A lot of Velcro would be needed there.
And a story on literacy can't really end that way without me telling how I met Val real quick.
Okay.
I was new to Kiwanis. I had a booth at the Decon, and I was giving away books to promote our Literacy Foundation. And the best thing to get people to come to your booth is give things away free. especially to Mama Flo. So Val came into my booth and they were looking at books, and by the end of that weekend, because we showed our libraries, we showed our books, she said the two most important things, or one most important sentence that she ever could utter to me was, "We need to make this a Kiwanis club." So that's how the Literacy Club of Southern California was formed, because Val and her mom came into my booth, and I went up there as a nonprofit and paid for a booth up there for the foundation, not even a Kiwanis club at the time. That's why we have the Kiwanis Literacy Clubs, and that's why we have the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation, because of what Val did by proactively coming to that booth, seeing the value of literacy, because Kiwanis has always done great stuff with literacy throughout its whole history. We're just able now to focus that literacy projects and laser focus to help kids get access to books. So all the kudos go to Val and her mom for making this happen. So we appreciate Val amazingly for doing that.
Val, is this something that we had a guest on not too long ago, Mr. Andre Lewis, literary engineers? Is this something that a partnership can develop to have his books be used? We also had the gentleman over the summer on, whose name escapes me.
Laval Bell.
What is it?
Laval Bell.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. The audio books.
Oh,
Books.
Books. Yeah, books.
There you go. Thank you.
David.
Yeah. So
With
are
books,
those
WWDBTV.com.
are they potential partnerships in this to help spread the word or provide more books to the cause, audio or otherwise?
So I know both of those people too. So I've worked with them before. I met them at a decon and stuff like that. But the price point right now isn't there. But yes, we can collaborate with them. We share the same ideals of getting books to kids. So I am working with books for our division wide project to get the books for all the clubs in our division. So I am working with him on that. And Andre, I know I've met him before, and we talked about his book before it even came out. So yes.
And so one of the things to answer the overall question, though, is separate from the Literacy Club Foundation, those folks have really been partnering with a number of clubs. And so both Vooks and Andre and the Little Iguanas have partnered to help with the recovery in Maui. And so they've all donated a number of subscriptions and resources for Maui, as has the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation donated a number of books as we build the first library in Lahaina. And so it all ties together. And so each one of us offers a resource to Kiwanis. And so that's why I want to always talk about the fact that you may only want a little bit of what we have to offer from this show. But even that little bit is going to change the world in your club. And there may be a retired librarian that all she wants to do is put books into the hands of kids. And if your club says, hey, would you chair our little free library process and curate the books that go into it and drive around town as your service hours and put books into the empty free library boxes, that would be awesome. That's your service. And because we're insured, if somebody runs into your car because they're so excited to get to the book box, our insurance covers it.
All right. Two things. Maritza asks a quick question. How many other literacy Kiwanis clubs are actually out there?
6.
All right. Half a dozen.
Where's the furthest one away, Val?
Furthest one away, I think, is in the Philippines.
Yeah, is it one in Barbados?
They are opening it. I don't think it's open yet.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Exciting.
All right. As time is ticking down through the hourglass, one other question and event of note. March 2nd through the 6th is Read Across America Week here in our state. Next week, which is the last week of school before spring break, we call it Nevada Reading Week, where guests go in to read. Or Val, you're going to be connected with Eileen's school electronically. She hasn't forgotten. She's working on that. And my school is hoping to host some of our downtown Kiwanians to come in and read. But is that in conjunction with that? Is that the same kind of overlapping program?
Yes.
Yeah. And March 2nd, tomorrow, we're giving away 500 books with cooperation with Division 35 in Roland Heights. We have our bookmobile trailer out there. We'll be giving away prizes and handing out free books. And the Roland Heights Club sponsored those 500 books.
Can you put me a picture of the amazing van and everything, the trailer on Kiwanis Connects? Because I don't think people realize how amazing and cool that is. And I know one of the superheroes, that's got to be me. She looks just like me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I will do that. I'll add some pictures to our trailer and our booth, how our booth's set up and stuff like that.
Now I'm intrigued. Real quickly, Douglas, the new image you sent down for us to use. I know you put that image together for that segment, but you didn't put the sound effect in there, did you?
No, I got
no.
It.
Oh,
no, I
on the new one.
I don't have it on the new one.
Okay,
yet.
So I think for Val's purpose, we need to use the old one first because of the sound. Then we'll pop up the new one provided by Douglas. It's now time for Val on the road.
I love it.
There you go. We'll add the sound effect to that. Thank you. Douglas put that together. Thank you, Douglas. Appreciate that. All right, Val, take it away.
You know, I wish the Corvette that was out in my driveway looked that good. I'm telling you, I would make it pink. But this is going to March as an overall process is going to be going quickly. And so as far as being on the road, where our Key Club Lieutenant Governors are all going through their training. And so I get to step back into one of my old roles, and I am the chaperone to take two our Lieutenant Governors, one incoming Key Club Lieutenant Governor, one outgoing, to their training. I'm going to be also going up to the Book Box and Book Hub in Northern California to deliver a bunch of used books, because we are going to be populating a number of senior centers with gently read books for seniors. Oftentimes you'll go into the senior center libraries, and those books are so loved. They have so much tape on them. And so I do hope the Library Congress is happy with us recycling those, and we're replacing them. And so very excited about that. I'm headed back to the Central Coast to talk about opening new clubs. And so we will be opening a new club starting up in Willow Creek, which is really far away for many people. But it's right next to a First Peoples reservation. So we're excited about that. And then just so many things I can't even tell you. But I'm really excited about being on the road. And so if you guys want to learn more about the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation, definitely reach out to Douglas. If you want to know more about service projects, or you're doing a fabulous literacy club, literacy-based service project like they do in Nevada, all their books come for free. And so they're giving brand new books away on a monthly basis. They're putting books in lunch backpacks. And so the kid has a brand new book on the weekends. There are a bunch of amazing literacy projects that you can do. So share them on Kiwanis Connects. Let's share the love. Don't keep it secret.
And we'd love to have you on via video, if nothing else, to talk about the project in person. Come on now. It's your platform as much as it is anybody else's to share what's going on. Okay. Are we ready? I have to ask, is my number one bad dad joke fan listening, Val?
He is.
All right. Andy, thank you, sir. Without Andy, I couldn't make these possible. Now, Douglas, if you do send John an invoice, he'll pay it just to keep me from doing these. So you may make a few dollars. So, all right, here we go. Is everybody ready? Val, you ready?
Ready.
All right, I hope so.
There goes the power.
I got 6. That one doesn't count as a joke, by the way. Stop laughing. Save it for the jokes. I got 6 for you today, so let's get started with number 1. What do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
It's a few. See, my job is done regardless of the reaction. Next one. What does a sprinter eat before a race?
Fast food?
Nothing. They fast.
Oh,
Number 3.
fast food's better.
They're so fast I didn't even see them. What do you call someone with no body and no nose?
Oh, I know this one.
Nobody knows.
Everybody knows, yes.
That has an afterburn to that one. You guys will start laughing a couple hours from now. Remember why, and that joke will pop in your
You
head.
just finally kind of hit me.
Right, exactly. It's it's like that indigestion. You know what I'm saying? Next one. Hey, you think swimming with sharks is expensive? Swimming with the sharks cost me an arm and a leg.
Oh my God.
I wish I could take a screenshot of Val's face. That'd have been a great one. Oh, I like that one. All right, last one. Mercifully, thank you very much. I hope Andy's laughing. I do not see any jokes in here, which is not boding well for me. Usually he comments on at least one of them. Well, hopefully this will be it. Hey, can you tell me why the Scarecrow actually won an award recently?
She was a stand-up comic.
Say that again, Douglas?
Was he standing up in a crowd or something?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, John, because he was outstanding in his field. There you go. There you have it. Thank God. That's it.
Can we like have Andy read a couple jokes sometime?
Well, if he's got them, I have no problem. Listen, with all due respect to Andy, I had an international president give me a joke on bad dad jokes.
Yes.
Okay.
But he could be your sidekick for this. Like you could be the host and he could be your sidekick reading the jokes.
Oh, no, wait a minute. But they're it's my, why would I want to do that? No, I'm only kidding. Anyway, listen, here's another reason. Go to the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page. If you got a bad dad joke, I'll tell you what, I'll make you all a deal. Put your jokes in there and I'll send you a hug in appreciation for participating.
Love
Or
it.
better yet, come collect at Midwinter South.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
So
John
I
has a quick
wanna-
job
I wanna
comment you want to make,
highlight
John,
something.
before we start saying goodbye.
I have a joke, but you're not going to like it.
Oh, I never do, but go ahead. This is from John, the producer. So if you don't like the joke, you can email him at john@WWDBTV.com.
So we all remember the serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, what a lot of people don't know is that when he was arrested and they found not only, all the body parts in the freezer, but they also found a bunch of noses because he was planning to go into business as Dahmer Nose Pizza.
Oh, no.
Bad. No more from you, John.
John, the tribe has spoken. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. All right.
Didn't I tell you you wouldn't like it?
The funny thing,
Didn't I tell you? I warned you.
you did. And that's my bad for actually, urging you on. Diane, feel free to try to share those jokes up in Alaska. I don't know if they'll work any better up there, but who knows? All right, that's cool. Oh my God, please stop. Okay, so thank you, Douglas. Val, let's wrap it up before I say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I always love hanging out with you, Doug. So thank you. Come back anytime. And so I just want to highlight that this isn't the last time we're going to be talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because I had one of these brainstorms. It was kind of like the light bulb. And so we're going to mix up the letters and come up with a new logo. And it's called IDEAS. It is inclusion, diversity, equity, allyship, and service. And so pulling that all together so that you can share your ideas with your club in a way that doesn't set off the alarm bells for them. And so the best way to be able to do that is actually to talk about institutional bias and why people would shy away from any of these topics to start with. So John Carlson will be coming in, or Joel Carlson will be coming in next week. And we hopefully have 2 other special guests that are professionals in the field to talk more about institutional bias. So take it away, Mr. Aaron.
Excellent. Douglas, once again, thank you for coming on. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks in Riverside. And
Looks
again,
like
thank you for all of my Batman paraphernalia. You are my dealer. I love it. All right, everybody. Hey, listen, great show today. The conversation on diversity, equity, and everything else should not stop because we are going off the air. Okay. This is every day, every minute, 365, 24/7. Let's keep that in mind. What did Maritza's comment say? We've been doing the Domino's perfect combo a lot. I'm going to have trouble now. She's not going to be able to order Domino's. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's show. At least one bad joke maybe you like going out. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week right here. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week right here. Kiwanis Connects.